Okay, so that was a fun little skit I put together to show, the consequences of using a crappy camera and then the benefits of using a better camera. So tell me what you think. I'd love to hear your feedback. Should I keep doing these skits? Should I drop them? Leave your comments down below. So let's get into the review. So the first thing I do like about the C615 is its portability. I do like the fact that you can fold into such a small size that can fit into, a backpack pocket, even your pants pocket, if you want to do that. But yeah, it is very portable. You can take it anywhere. You could put it on a laptop, not just a desktop, which is pretty convenient. Another element of the camera I'd like to bring up is its image quality. It does look pretty nice. Under good lighting, it does look pretty sharp. I also like how the Logitech software allows you to, adjust the exposure, the brightness, the contrast. And I will show you an example of all this later. Example of the video footage, and even example of the audio. So stay tuned. So another neat thing I'd like to note about this camera is it does have a tripod mount. Now this is something you don't usually see, or at least I haven't really seen before, but I do think this is pretty helpful, especially if you are a Twitch streamer and you want to give your audience an angle instead of the camera being right in front of you, awkwardly. So another thing I'd like to note is that this camera has the ability to turn 180 degrees and then some. So if you need privacy during your call, or you just want to block out the NSA, you do have the ability to do so. So the last thing I'd like to know about this webcam is it can record in 1080p. However, when you are on Skype, you are limited to 720p. Now, in my experience, I did not find this a problem because if I'm talking to family or friends, I'm not usually looking for the best quality. Now, if you are a streamer, however, you might want that full 1080p. However, I don't really think you need it, just because if you're streaming, you usually have a really small preview screen anyways. So, you don't really need a really, really nice camera. Alright, so let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and check out some video footage from this webcam. Alright everyone, so now you are looking at the Logitech webcam footage. We are recording right now in full 1080p. Yeah, so this is the image quality, and then you are also listening to the voice quality of the mic. In my opinion, the mic is decent. It's, good enough for calls, conferences, anything like that. Not so sure how it does in noisy environments. I'm guessing all right. So yeah, it's a decent mic. Uh, if you want something better, if you're like a creator and you want good audio, I would suggest getting something like this right here, the Blue Snowball, or the Blue Yeti mic if you want to use USB, because USB is pretty easy to use. But yeah, that's what I would go with. So let's see, what can we do? So let's go ahead and let's try out the autofocus. Alright, so here we go. So right about, oh, it looks like it's having some problems. Probably because of the lighting. Let's try it again. There we go. And one more time, just because. Alright, there we go. That was much quicker. Not sure what was up with the delay that first time. Right now, I'm using two softbox lights. Sorry, and I'm also using like one light for the backlight. Yeah. So the quality of this camera, you can adjust it using the settings. But a lot of it has to do with your light source. If you, for example, if I turn this off, you know, it's a lot different. You're gonna get a much different result if you don't have as much light. So let's go ahead and turn that back on. There you go. Alright, so yeah, that is my lighting setup. That's why it looks decent right now, I hope. So let's go ahead and mess with some of these advanced properties. So okay, let's go ahead and put exposure all the way up. So yeah, now I'm overexposed and now the frames are all low. So let's get back to a good point. That's good enough. You can mess with the gain. There's the gain. And then the brightness. Wow. Okay, let's keep that low. Actually, if you put the brightness pretty low, it doesn't look too bad. That's a different look. Some of you might like that look. Let's keep it a little less bright. Contrast. Yeah, this is what I call the scary story type of look. And then we put contrast all the way down. You have this really weird but sort of cool look. So let's go ahead and put that back. Color intensity, you know, it just makes me look really tan. Makes the colors look crazy. You could really see Wilson right there in the background. So let's put that back. I hope you guys know who Wilson is. Okay, so here's white balance going from cool to warm. So yeah, that's just an example of how you could you know, mess with the settings. I know we probably don't look this. I probably don't look the same as I did earlier, but that's fine. So yeah, that's basically all the settings. Let's see. What else can we do? Let's go ahead and do some panning and tilting. I don't think you will use this function that much, but I guess some people might. We'll see. But the thing is, with panning and tilting, you actually need to be on 720, because when you're in 1080, there's not enough screen to use in order to pan and tilt, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and try that out. Alright, now we are on 720p, so I'm going to go ahead and test out the panning and tilting for you all. So, okay, so what we have to do first is we have to zoom in actually, not that far. Okay, that's too close. Something like about here is fine. So let's go ahead. This is how actually the panning looks, and it's not, you know, like fluid camera panning or anything, but I don't know, some people might need this. You know, if you want to do something like this. This is the tilting function actually. And then if you want to go back to center, you can. There's this middle button that always brings you. Ooh, that's not center. Oh yeah, that is center. Okay, there's this middle button that always brings you back to center easily. There's a function called follow my face. So yeah, this is how it works. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty funny. So it just follows wherever your face. It's pretty fun. It's addicting. I'm not gonna lie. I guess you could find some use for that. And then there's a setting called right light, which I'm guessing is gonna mess with the lighting. And yeah, apparently this is correct lighting for this camera. I mean, it looks a little more fluid actually, but it's way too overexposed. So let's go ahead and put that back down a bit, and then let's go ahead and yeah, about here is about fine. Still a little bit of light on my face, but that's okay. So yeah, that's you know, some more controls for the webcam. Yeah, so that's about it for this demonstration, and that's it for the review. So yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any advice, recommendations, I'm all ears. And yeah, thank you for watching my video. I hope to do many more reviews in the future. You know, I'm trying to get the ball rolling. So yeah, thank you very much and have a good day.